walk with your arms around each other off the field?
I just love the man. I've always had a tight friendship with him, and just a lot of gratitude in the midst of disappointment. The best part about this game is the relationships that come out of it, because those last longer than the career, and I'm thankful for Randall.
Where do you stand on what you want to do next year?
I mean, it's a little raw right now. You know, it's just a little bit after the game, so I want to take the emotion out of it and have the conversations and see where the organization's at and see how I feel after some time has passed.
Is there any sort of timetable with that? Is there like a date where you want to make your decision by? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to hold them hostage. You know, I understand, you know, we're still in January here. March is free agency, so just need some time to, like I said, get the emotion out of it and then figure out what's best.
Do you think is the decision all yours, you think, or?
No, I don't think so. I think there's got to be mutual on both sides.
So you get, because your contract, obviously, you got the guarantee. So if they wanted to move on, or at least were open to it, would you be open to that too, or?
To what?
To going to a different team?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't like saying never, but got to see how I'm feeling first once the emotion's out of it, and then have the right conversations and see what the best direction is.
You've said before that, I think the term you used was you didn't want to go out like a bum. I'm not saying you played like one, but does not making the playoffs and maybe some of the struggles you had this season maybe make you lean toward wanting to come back? Do you think that will play a role in it?
Not really. I mean, I have a lot of pride in what I've accomplished in this league. You know, in a lot of ways, I don't feel like we should have been even in this position with some of the games that we lost, especially in that stretch of 5 games. But this is the reality we're in, and obviously didn't get it done tonight. You know, you want to go out winning the Super Bowl, but it's very rare that that actually gets to happen. Don't want to, you know, lose your last game and miss out on the playoffs, but this is a great profession and a really tough business, and doesn't always end with rainbows for everybody.
I don't want this to sound disrespectful, Ernest. I swear it's not. But
it's okay, Bill. You don't have to do a lead-in like that.
I know.
We've known each other long enough.
Look, you're a 4-time MVP. You're going to the Hall of Fame. So when you ask a guy, do you still have it? I don't want to come across him like a prick, you know?
No, not at all, Bill. And look, we've known each other for a long time, so I don't take anything that anybody says here personally. There's been some side conversations over the years if I felt like something might have been taken out of context or anything, but I respect you guys and the job that you have to do and questions that are hard like that. Yeah, and the answer is yes. You know, I feel like, you know, obviously losing Devontae was a big deal, but, you know, we didn't fill that void. And, I mean, nobody can. He's superhuman. He's phenomenal, but there was hope in certain things that was going to fill that void, and ultimately that just didn't happen. The things that we were able to do, I think, you know, may have been taken for granted at times because we were able to create so many different things in the moment over the years, and especially over the last couple of years, because not much really changed other than his absence from the lineup. Obviously, Marquez not being here, and some other pieces in the line, but I think that there's a lot of good young talent on the team, and if certain guys make the jumps from years 1 to 2, this offense could look a little bit different.
Aaron, you've been so used to success here. How hard was this season for you in its totality?
I mean, it was frustrating at times, but it was ultimately some really beautiful moments. It's weird to say, and I actually do really believe that. As disappointing as this is, there was a lot of really incredible moments and life lessons. life and the season is like a big ceremony, and ceremonies can be tough. You got to go through some stuff and a lot of lessons to be learned. And as much as this is a real shitty feeling, missing the playoffs and losing home like this, I'm thankful for the season. I'm thankful for the friendships that got strengthened, the new friendships, the moments on the field, off the field, at Chives on Friday nights with the crew, and everything in between. That's the beauty in this game. It's given me a lot, and I'm really thankful for it.
Aaron, how hard would it be to come back?
Quite the perspective from Aaron Rodgers in a moment where the team was just eliminated from the postseason. Things are not looking great in Green Bay at the moment, but he was really kind with his time and certainly generous to the media that are trying to cover this story. But, you know, he mentioned Davante Adams, and you start to think, and I know you said you don't think he's going to go anywhere, but you do have to think there are going to be openings. And these teams are going to want a player like Aaron Rodgers. And you look at Las Vegas, and Davante Adams is there. So perhaps could that be a landing spot for him if he doesn't stay in Green Bay?
You know, listen, I think he first has to just figure out, does he want to play football, right? That's the biggest thing. And, you know, again, there's going to be teams that want him. I know the Raiders certainly have an opening at that position. But my big thing is, you know, he flirted with Denver last year before, you know, I think he ultimately said no, and that's why they went on to Russell Wilson. Do you really want to start new somewhere? That's a big question at this part of your career, you know, and it's not for everybody. You know, it was a big adjustment for Tom Brady. It certainly was. I don't know if he really wanted to leave New England. I think they kind of forced him to, too. But he made the best of it. I don't see that in Aaron Rodgers. I don't. You know, what I really think Aaron Rodgers, what he said towards the end there, where he went, we got some young talent to be excited for. And if they make the jump they're expected to make, we could have something here. That, to me, was the inkling of, wait, this guy wearing number 9 has got 3 rockets up his butt and can run by anybody. And 87 Dobbs is really damn good, too. You know, and I think I think he sees the potential there. Let alone, again, I don't think they're that far off. And they blew some games early in the year. Like I said before, I just want to see him go all in. You know, that's the big thing to me that was missed this year. Not being there in OTAs led to what we heard Tirico and Cris Collinsworth talk about tonight a little bit during the game. How nervous Christian Watson was around Aaron Rodgers early in the year. Well, he wouldn't have been as nervous if you were there with him in OTAs in March and April and May, you know, to kind of break the ice that way. So that's the big thing, and that's where the leadership of Rodgers will come into play. That will permeate through the rest of the team to see the guy who's making $50 or $60 million working his butt off in the facility at the end of March. That gets other guys to go, wait, if he's doing that, I'm going to do that, right? And that's where it starts to just be infectious that way. And I feel like he's missed that a little bit up there.
Who determines that, though? Who's going to be the one that has to tell Aaron Rodgers you've got to be here at certain times that you're not, that you choose to not be here? I mean, we see star quarterbacks do this throughout the league where they come in a little later. Tom Brady was known to do it towards
he did it for a
the
while,
end of his career,
and then he started to change it
and then
back.
He went back. When he got to Tampa, you realized the importance of it.
Right.
But who is it? The head coach?
I think
the organization?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, you know, Brian Gutekunst, the GM, along with LaFleur, I think that's one where he says we want to sit down and talk, and I want to feel what they have to say, and I'll get my thoughts off my chest. That's where I think hopefully they can step in and go, hey, listen, you don't have to live here all offseason, but we only have a certain amount of OTAs, and you don't have to be here even for every day we lift weights, but we'd like you here for 70% of those days. I think that'll go over big with the football team, let alone build some relationships off the field. Those are the big things that make you fight for your teammate. We know we're all professional and we love football, but when it crosses the line like he's talking about with Randall Cobb, right? When it's, wait, this is my buddy, I've had a few beers with him, I really know how the human works. That's where teams really come together in a special way, and I think some of the top teams in football have that. I'm not sure if Green Bay does.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.